Okay, class, welcome to lesson 17 on code.org. We are going to be creating our very own interactive card today through these lessons. So, the question of the day here, I'm logged in and on lesson 17. What skills and practices are important when creating an interactive program? In this culminating project for Chapter 1, students plan for and develop an interactive greeting card using all of the programming techniques they've learned to this point. So, if you remember so far, we've talked about drawing the background using simple shapes such as rectangles and ellipses. We've talked about the draw loop and creating sprites, getting sprites to move, being able to interact with those sprites with the keyboard or with the mouse, and using conditional statements to be able to accomplish all of these things. So, up until this point, we've had a couple of projects that have been kind of an independent planning project. If you remember, we first did drawing just a static scene where you had some text and you had some sprites and you colored in the background whatever you wanted, and then we had an animated scene where you had to use the counter pattern and animate something, either whether it was a random animation moving back and forth or kind of rotating back and forth, or a smooth animation in which something was just going across the screen, or going up and down on the screen, for that. So now we're taking all of those things, we're putting them together, and you are creating some type of interactive card. So this can be for any occasion. There are thank you cards, there are Halloween cards, there are Christmas cards, birthday cards. So whatever it is that you would like to do for your card, that's what you get to decide and get to work on today. So there's several resources available to help you plan, and I highly would encourage you to be able to look at these so that you're not just sitting and staring at the computer screen and saying, "What am I gonna do?" So on here, the project guide, which you can open a Google Doc on your Chromebook, or if you're actually in school and you're working on the computers, you can download the MS Word version of this. So this is the guide to help you kind of plan this. And when you click on the actual word, like I just did, it pulls up a PDF. So I'll just open the PDF. The disadvantage of the PDF is you can't really edit it like you would a Word doc or a Google Doc. So just like the other projects that we've had, you're going to sketch your idea first. These are the different commands that are available to you that you've used thus far. These are the sprites that you're going to set up. And so what are you going to call them? What kind of images are you going to use? What kind of properties you're going to manipulate to use them? And then how are you going to interact with those sprites in the course of the program? And then I'm supposed to approve your design. Fortunately, I'm not there today, so you're going to have to just try to incorporate a lot of these things into your planning as you can. So here's the rubric. This is kind of what you should be aiming for to do and to accomplish as you're developing this game or this card. So you want to hopefully have extensive evidence here. You have good program feedback. You have multiple sprites, multiple properties updated in the draw loop. The program responds to multiple types of user input and uses at least one random number. Program is well sequenced and properly separates code in and out of the draw loop. It uses multiple conditionals inside the draw loop, at least one of which is triggered by a variable or a sprite property. Multiple elements are placed on the screen using the coordinate system and move in different ways. And then finally, multiple variables are used and their values are updated during the program. At least one variable or property uses the counter pattern. So these are things that you should be aiming for in your in your card. So I would say it should have at least two different user interactions in ways that the user can um, manipulate and interact with the card. You should have some text, you should have background, and of course, you should have probably three to four different sprites as you plan those out. So let's look at some of the examples that they have and start talking about how you would go about creating your own card. So we're going to continue. So this is a project that they have developed on code.org. So we have the happy birthday. You're going to move the mouse to shake your present, and you keep shaking until you see a surprise. And so then the present opens. So you can hopefully see and think about how it is that they did this. You have these two sprites, obviously, that were invisible. Their visibility was set to false at the beginning, and then you had the present, which was set to true, so you could see it at the beginning. So then, as you moved your mouse, it made the present shake, and they set up a variable where, as if it shakes so much, then what they do is they have the present disappear, and they have the other two sprites up here. And you can see the animations that are set here. We have a counter pattern animation of the bike that's just rotating at a steady, smooth speed. And then we have the dog here that's got this random position animation that's being assigned each time it goes through the draw loop. And of course, they have the sprite here up top and or the text here up top and the text at the bottom. Background was drawn with the balloons there. So hopefully this could give you an idea. This is something that you could do with your program. A few more examples to check out. Keep in mind, we've already looked at the middle one. When you click on these, there's no way to get back to the program. You have to actually click the back key to get back to the lesson. So on this one, here's all of the code. They give you the code. And that's the advantage, I guess, to that middle one. You can see the code of how they did that. So you just click on each flower. So if I click on all three flowers, then it has this sprite displayed. So once again, it has the visible property of the sprite being used. When I click on the flower, then it causes it to disappear. So as you can see, if I click anywhere else, it doesn't work. I have to click on the actual flower in order for those to disappear. And once all three of them are disappeared, then the vase will appear. You can see right here, vase.visible equals false. And so then if the mouse is pressed over the flower 1, then we increase the flower count, we make the flower 1 invisible, and then we move it over into where the vase would be. And then flower 2, same thing, flower 3, and so then once the flower count equals 3, then we put all the flowers visible again, and we make the vase visible so that they can see those things. Okay, and then final example program that you can check out here is this bike one. So welcome to my, and this actually isn't necessarily a card. Just welcome to my awesome life. Press this the space to play my guitar, plus the arrows to ride my bike. This is just giving you some examples of things that you can do in your card. So if I push the left arrow, my bike plays a noise and it moves using the counter pattern. If I do the right arrow, it goes backwards. It doesn't play the noise, but it still is able to move. So I can move this back and forth. And then when I push the space bar, it's going to play the guitar sound, and it's going to have those two notes that are going to kind of escape, and they have an animation, two animations happening here. They're vibrating back and forth, and they're kind of moving in the diagonal direction towards the top of the screen. So a lot of animation going on here, and some cool interactive keyboard input that you can use. Also, you can see they have these play sound options. So if you would like to put some sound into your card, you're definitely able to do that. They have a lot of MP3 files that you can use that are pre-recorded. If not, you're gonna have to get your own and be able to upload those to get that to work for the card that you're planning. So those are just some examples of cards that they have created, and just hopefully you've gotten some ideas of things that you could do in your card. And then after that, this is all you. It's taking you through all the steps of creating your card. So I went ahead and did a nice little example here. So I'm gonna make a Christmas card. Merry Christmas. I'm gonna put a tree in the middle. I'm gonna have some notes over here. So if you click on the notes, they're going to start playing a Christmas song. I have a little present here. I want to steal that idea of shaking the mouse and then having it turn into like a present. Maybe have the presents come up under the tree. And I also want to do this so that if I click the tree, it starts decorating the tree. So I want to have it so that there are like lights and ornaments that if you click on the tree, they start to appear so that the tree becomes decorated. And so that would be kind of the card that I would want to create if I were doing this project. So you've got to have a good plan, and then you're just going to go through each of these step by step to create your interactive card. So you're first going to lay out your background, and then after that, you're going to add the sprites that you're going to need to put in. Next, you're going to work on user input with those sprites and how they're going to be interacting. And then any other conditionals that you need. So this is the surprise in your card comes from conditionals that don't directly respond to user input, but some other element of the card could be triggered by a variable that gets updated as the user interacts with your card, or a sprite moving to a certain part of the screen. So in mine, what I could do is if they put like 5 or 6 ornaments, so they click so many times on the tree, then I can have lights appear. That they weren't necessarily anticipating. And then this is the final finishing touches just to make sure that it works and that everything's debugged. And that's another thing too. Please make sure to run your programs through before you kind of declare them done. We had several animations that I checked on in previous activities where it didn't work because you didn't name the sprites correctly or something wasn't connecting correctly. So make sure you're running these programs at each step of the process to make sure that they still work and everything still functions the way that it's supposed to. And then your final step here is just your reflection, little quick survey on if you think you're learning stuff, if you're having fun. What do you think about computer science is kind of what we're looking for in that survey there. So hopefully this gives you some good ideas. If you have any questions as you're going through this, I'm going to try my best to be on a Zoom during class for you guys to be able to ask questions and to be able to help you out. So it should be fun. If we need to, I might give you 2 class periods to work on this. It's kind of a bigger project. So we're going to see what progress we've made after today, and then we'll determine on Wednesday or Thursday, depending if you're watching this on an A day or a B day, if we're going to have additional time. So there you have it, lesson 15. Good luck, have fun, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with.